What's up, everybody? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, with another Unpopular Opinions live. Now, I know recently some of you guys have come to my channel. My videos on Ukraine and Russia have been a bit popular, and I kind of want to continue the conversation. Today's topic is Africans should pray for Africa and forget the white man's cause. Now, before I get started, big shout outs to the customers at AfricanSuperstar.com, our members only. Big shout outs to those of you that are supporting our music project. And special shout outs to the Denta Show. Yes, some of you guys have seen on the community tab that I actually shot an upcoming episode on the Denta Show yesterday here in Ghana. So much love to her, much love to her team. It was amazing. Much love to Cecilia, the friend that I made, who is a CEO of a local online grocery store called Consume. So big shout outs to her. So guys, let me get on to this topic. All right. Make sure if you're here that you like the stream, you can leave me something in the comments box and I will get to you momentarily. Africans need to worry about Africa. Okay. Black people need to address their own community. The situation that's happening in Ukraine and Russia, again, that is not our battle. That's not our concern. All the countries involved have military power. They have means. Okay. They can deal with their situation on their own. They don't really need us. But the irony is that we need us to focus on our own issues. Social media, unfortunately, is a microcosm for the bigger picture of our people and kind of where their mind is at. And, before the details were even out about the situation, many Africans were taking the side of Ukraine and issuing prayers. And, even some African pastors, there's clips of a Nigerian. Reality was that your very brothers and sisters, okay, members, people from your countries, I've heard there's Jamaicans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, South Africans, just to name a few. I'm sure there's a host of Africans and things like that living in Ukraine. These very same Africans, your brothers and sisters, the concern wasn't, let's find out what the situation is of Africans in Ukraine. Okay, let's minister to the need of our people in Ukraine. It was Ukraine at large, which is a non-Black country. And all to come out that these people were using this opportunity to segregate themselves, because they understand the concept that I'm talking about. They understand self-preservation. I can't blame the Ukrainians for wanting to evacuate their people and make sure their people were to safety, because that's what you really should technically do. But the problem of many Africans is we extend our hand before we make sure that we're secure. Okay? Our concern and focus should not be on what's happening in Europe, even the West. Okay? When there's so many needs in our own nations. Needs that we as the general public can begin to minister to. We can't always look to the government to be ministering care and concern. If more of our people exercise the I can do it myself attitude, you would be surprised at how things can get done. If you think that the growth of many nations is solely due to their government, you're sadly mistaken. Okay? A country is comprised of what? Citizens, people. Okay, that's what makes up a country. And when those people decide to take a certain direction or take certain initiatives, they succeed. What should really be the course, guys? Big shout outs to you guys. Is anybody here? Let me see. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, good. I just seen comment pop up. Mature on a mission. Big shout outs to her. She's the first in the chat room. Thank you for being on code. The rest of you, like the stream, leave me something in chat. What should really be the initiative of Black people, progressive Black people? Okay. I think that at this point, the line of demarcation between those that are inclusive and those that are Pan-African needs to be drawn. We need to accept the fact that there are so many of our people that are not minded towards, their mindset is not geared towards their own people and their own nations. And what we need to do is mobilize with the people who are, because what's going to happen is, just like those people in Ukraine, unfortunately, they're being caught up in a crossfire it doesn't pertain to them, but because they're in that environment, they have to deal with the circumstances that's in. Okay. When a lot of these people get the reality, they're going to want to run back to our side. Okay, because that's how it is. People are very stubborn. They don't listen. They're narcissistic. They think, oh, whatever happened to the last person, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen to me. Those of us that are serious, we need to mobilize together and get ourselves together. Okay, we don't need to be having online debates with these people. We don't need to be expending energy with these people. Where's my energy bottle? Guys, remember, we don't need to be wasting energy with things and people that do not replenish our energy. I gave an example in a previous video. If I give away a third of my energy to causes that do not replenish my energy, at the end of the day, I'll be empty. Okay? You have to exert your energy on causes that reciprocate the energy. Okay? Or at least people that you can call on in your time of need. It's very stupid to give away your energy without expecting anything in return, which is exactly what we're promoted to do, what religion promotes us to do. It's stupid. Yeah, let me give out my resources. Let everybody get a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? Let me pray for these people. Let me volunteer. Let me do this and be helpful, be a humanitarian. They don't ever give back. They don't ever give back. In reality, reciprocity is the most basic principle there is. You do for me, I do for you. Let's say Maternal on a Mission, she has so many services that she offers. Okay. She's up there in Egypt, and she offers tours. She offers all kind of online services. She did a video on her channel about how she makes money remotely in Egypt and things like that. Now, let's say I go to Egypt and I say, Maternal on a Mission, listen, I want to, host this event. I need you to help me pull it together, blah, blah, blah. She helps me. Now she comes down to Ghana and she says, hey, African Superstar, I need you to help me with this initiative. That makes sense. Now both of us get to eat. Now both of us get to come up. Now both of us get to experience, something for our relationship. And I don't know about you guys. This is my first trivia question. When you have relationships that are reciprocal, it feels so good. It feels so good when you have relationships that are reciprocal. If you agree with that statement, let me see a number one. Big shout outs to Mind, Body, and Soul TV, my members only. She's in the building. What's up to Karamay? I see him there. And the rest of you guys that are not on code. When you have a reciprocal relationship, it feels so good. When you're involved with someone that you can call back, you have you ever been somewhere and maybe you're thinking about a person, maybe it's your boo, maybe it's your wife or your husband. You're sitting there thinking about it, and then they call you, or you pick up your phone to go send a text, and they're sending a text message through. Or when you're having a serious situation, you talk to a friend or your partner, and you tell them, you know what, I really want to work this out. I really want to get through this issue so that we can move forward in the relationship. And the other person says, me too. Let's work it out. Reciprocity is where it's at. This whole kissing the cheek of your enemy and all this, it's absolute total nonsense. It's also keep your enemies closer. Absolute nonsense. Foolishness. Do you see what's happening right now? Okay? The people that have instilled this idea in you that you should be close to your enemies and that you should just forgive them and all this stuff, they don't even adhere to that doctrine. Okay? Some of you guys don't even know the root cause as to why Russia has gone into Ukraine. Okay? Russia has essentially gone into Ukraine because Ukraine is being used by the US and NATO. Okay? And Russia feels that, you know, enemy forces, which would be NATO and America, UK, blah, 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 is getting too close to their territory. Okay. And they don't like that. Everybody knows that the Russians and the Americans have had this like disdain for years. All right. So some of you guys are involving yourself in this situation, don't know the details, don't know how it pertains to your people. And most importantly, you could be directing your energy to a worthy cause. How about all y'all Africans out there that's concerned about Ukraine and Russia? You concern yourself with your own damn homelands. Concern yourself with that. Huh? Why aren't we concerned with, okay, you know what? Let's make Ghana a phenomenal place. Let's create economic opportunities for our youth and stuff. So guess what? They don't got to travel to Ukraine. So when Ukraine and Russia start fighting, Africans ain't going to be in the middle because they're not going to be there. You know, it's kind of like if let's say, you know, Iceland and Antarctica get some kind of conflict going. Okay, the probability of some black people, I mean, black people are worldwide, we're super global. There's probably a few in Antarctica, there's probably a few in Iceland. But let's just say they get into it. The probability of high populations of our people being there is not likely, okay, those locations. So that doesn't become our cause. The only reason that even some Africans should be maybe concerned is because they're connected to the Africans that are in these environments, you know, in Russia, in Ukraine for safety, blah, blah, blah. I mean, apparently Ukraine is not in Russia. So there's not any warfare happening in Russia. So the blacks in Russia is probably straight. All right. But, you know, at the end of the day, Africans need to concern themselves with their own damn problems. You know, this is a lesson that you should teach your youth. You know, teach them to be concerned about what pertains to them. We are groomed to care about stuff that doesn't pertain to us and neglect things that are really important to us. Okay, we're groomed to care about other people's causes. Okay, what's the probability, guys? Second trivia question. What's the probability that any conflict on a continent that, you know, there's ongoing conflicts right now, some of you guys may not know, but let's say a new conflict develops next week on the continent. What's the probability that Russia and Ukraine are going to get involved? What's even the probability that America's going to get involved? Let me see some figures. Big shout out to the family. Matrell on a Mission said they had no tears for any recent African conflict, but cry for Ukraine. It's maddening. Big shout out to Anna's there. She says they're one and the same, referring to Ukraine and Russia. Mind, Body, and Soul TV says, let the white man fight his wars anyway. Their conflict exists. This is statistics of if Ukraine, Russia, or the US would interfere with any ongoing or, you know, new African conflict. Matrell on a Mission says 0. Caesar says nobody cares unless they can get some oil. That's right. The Western nations will be in these African nations after a conflict, getting resources, taking raw materials, you know, taking advantage of the situation. There was recently, like, I think there was a volcano exploded in Congo. I remember seeing on Instagram, there's a gentleman called Shaka Bars, and he goes around the continent and kind of helps with different crises and things like that. He set up shop in the Congo. He built a shelter for youth. He helped them with resources and blah, blah, blah. No Western media. You know, another blatant example is anytime anything happens on a continent, Facebook never creates a little profile thing. When something happens in France, it's like, pray for France, pray for Ukraine. They get like a little design, you know, you put the little stuff on your, never. I have never seen one. Not anything for the continent, ever. So you guys waste your energy. This is our energy bottle, okay? You'll have to watch a previous video to get the gist of this. But you guys waste your energy on people that would not bother to reciprocate. And it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. If we look at it in a logical sense, okay? And you have a measurable amount of energy and you're wasting energy and time, or even money. Some of you guys, in terms of money, you understand money more. If you have $100, okay? And here comes, you know, let's see who's here. Let's say here comes Afro Millennial Mama. Big shout outs to her. Thank you so much. She comes in, I got $100. She said, yo, Gina, listen, I need 30 bucks. Okay. She has my niece, my little chocolate, beautiful unicorn. She says, Gina, I need 30. You know, I want to take her to the beach today and, you know, get some ice cream and some drinks and get some rice. Can I get 30 bucks? And I said, all right. Then Caesar Music comes along and he said, oh, Gina, listen, I need some gas money, you know. Fuel prices are going up. Please, can you give me some gas money? He hits me up for another 30. That's 60 bucks gone. I only had 100. Now I got 40. Mind, Body, and Soul TV comes along. She's like, Gina, listen, I need to pay my my members only fee this month. Can you support me on that members only fee? So then I turn around and give her 15 pounds. So now I don't have no money left. Okay? And all three of these people in this example, I can't call on them for money. They're not people that I could go to get the money back if I need to. It is dumb. Stupid. Take an aerial view to how we're interacting with people. It's no surprise that we're not getting anything back. We don't require anything back. We don't enter into relationships that's going to be reciprocal. Why are Africans caring about Eastern European affairs when they know for a fact that Eastern Europe is not going to care about the affairs of African issues? If you're developing a business, you might have investors and stuff like that in your business, or maybe a partner in your business. It should be beneficial to the parties involved, not just one or the other. No. What kind of business model is that where, you know, one party's getting 80 and maybe the other party's getting 20? It doesn't make sense, guys. Let the white man deal with his cause. They are different than us, okay? They have a insatiable thirst that cannot be quelled for blood, murder, conquest. Okay? That is the nature of the white man. It's all historical. People can try to argue with me all they want. It's historical. The nature of the white man is violence, conquest, and war. That's what they be on. That is what they be on. That's not our nature. We're not built like that. We just want to chill. We just want to relax. We want to eat, have a good time, look good, and enjoy life. That's all we're trying to do. Okay? You'll be hard pressed to see a Ghanaian that's like, okay, you know what? I want to take over East Africa. Have you ever heard of something like that? Have you ever heard of the African kings? You know, there's kings here in Ghana. Okay, you know, there's a king. There's loads of kings actually here in Ghana. Okay, I have never heard of Asante Hene, which is the king in Kumasi, going over to another person's region and saying, okay, I'm claiming this in the name of Kumasi. We're going to take over Accra in the name of Kumasi. Okay, I'm going to extend my kingdom out to the Volta region. No, Asante Hene got a palace in Kumasi. He's chilling down there. He does his festivals, be in his kente with his people. The other kings, there's God kings, there's kings in Tamale. Everybody got their little, everybody has their area, and that's where they be at. But the nature of the white man is different. Black men don't need to involve themselves in white men's matters, period. Black men have enough matters of their own to deal with. You know, and I'm telling you guys, energy is powerful, okay? These are things that we were never ever taught. Okay? Energy is powerful. Energy is like the currency of life. It's what actually pushes you to get things done. Because you can lay in the bed, like say when a lot of people are sick, for instance. Big shout outs. Malik, I see you. When a lot of people are sick, they say that they don't have what? If you've ever been sick, you wake up in the morning, you lay in the bed, you don't even have enough to get out of the bed. You know, maybe you go to the gym usually. You find that you don't have enough to go to the gym. You can't complete your workouts. You see, energy is so crucial. I know this is my hair oil bottle for those of y'all that don't know this example. This is an example of your energy in the bottle and what you choose to expend it on, and that what you choose to expend it, but it should be something that will eventually replenish your bottle. Okay? When you give away energy and you're not getting anything back, your bottle eventually becomes empty and you have no more. And that's what our people do. We give energy to this cause, to that cause, to this cause, that cause. And when it's our time, we don't see anything going down. Black Americans, did you see Russia or Ukraine intervene on behalf of the police brutality that was going on in the U.S.? Did they have anything to say about that? Huh? Did they say, hey, President Biden, if you don't get this police brutality underway, we're about to intervene on you? Matter of fact, has any nation said that? Black people are getting, assassinated essentially in a lot of these police brutality cases, and none of these other nations have put any sanctions on the U.S., have restricted business, travel, nothing to help them get it on initiative. Not even African countries saying, hey, look, that's why I love Nigeria. Okay, I love Nigeria because Nigeria, these guys are the reciprocal kings. They recently did it they've done it several times when people have given them different travel restrictions. Then they will reciprocate the thing back. They will say, oh, you don't want to let us come into the U.S., you want to revoke our visas? Okay, we're not also giving visas to your people coming here. I think Emirates wanted to stop flying to Nigeria, so they reciprocated in a way. They said, okay, we're going to stop. I think they wanted to stop flights or something. Then they said, okay, we're going to also do it back. That's it. That's how you do it. And the minute you stand up and say, this is how it's going to go down, this is what we're going to do, you will see that you have power. But if you let people just run game all over you, you let them do whatever, then you're going to get what you get. It's very pitiful. I had to just kind of get off of social media because I see all these Africans. I have loads of Africans, obviously, on my timeline, Ghanaians, Nigerians, people that are here on the continent, people that are out in the diaspora. And they are analysts for this whole situation. And I'm like, when's the last time you even been to your country? Do you even know what's going on in your country? But you're passionate about what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. And from what I heard, they're even in negotiations today. So all of this was just drama. It didn't even last. It hasn't even lasted a month before they're already in negotiations. So this was just one big show of, whatever. And we're involving ourselves, depleting our energy. I'm pretty sure some Africans were worried, maybe couldn't sleep. I'm sure of it. Meanwhile, what takes place to your own people is crazy. And guys, this is how we change the narrative. A lot of us was groomed to care about this stuff, but we don't have to care about it. Okay, we don't have to care about it. If we need to start accentuating the focus on things that need to be paid attention to. Even if you want to maybe think in your mind about, okay, what if this did graduate to a world war? Okay, what if it did graduate to a world war? What's your situation? What are you going to do? Where are you located? How will you survive? If you're abroad, how will you get home? If you want to think about worst case scenario, then you need to think about all those concerns. That's where your concern should be. Ukraine has shown in the event of an emergency, Africans abroad will be on their own. Okay, I can guarantee that what happened to Ukraine would be the same in any European nation or even America. Absolutely, Malik. I reported it first. While everybody was talking about pray for Ukraine, I shared on my community tab a gentleman that was posting from Ukraine talking about how they were segregating, how they wouldn't let them get on the trains, how when they also reached the Polish border, even international law said that they should be received at the Polish border. It was a struggle. I think some of them have gotten through now because of the social media. But originally, they were just using this opportunity to discriminate against the people. Big shout outs. What's up, Mr. Joseph King? I see you in the building, sir. Yeah, you need to ask yourself the question, because I'm being honest with y'all. When COVID came and hit the UK, it hit the rest of the world. But I was in the UK at the time. And it dawned on me that I can't fly. Okay, at the time I had a lot of trips that I was supposed to take during the lockdown. Okay, I was supposed to go to Senegal in May for the Africa Day conference, never forget. I was supposed to come to Ghana in June of that year. Okay, and I got to thinking, okay, what's the worst case scenario? If these borders are locked and stuff like that, what am I going to do? It's something that every foreigner really needs to think about. Okay, those of you living in the international community, those of you that hold foreign passports, you need to also think about what it is, what to do. Those of you that are illegal and don't have documents, what the hell are you going to do? Because real talk. What's up, TT? I see you in the building. TT's there. Matrell on a mission brings up a great point. Matrell says Ukraine is on code. They kicked out everyone who was light brown to chocolate. Listen, when it came down to it, Ukraine did exactly what Ukraine should do. They said, look, we got limited space on these trains. We're going to save our own citizens. Now, I'm pretty sure that there were some Africans that are Ukrainian citizens. They've got documents and all that. Yeah. But they didn't ask for passport status when they were checking the trains. They did a visual and said, yeah, whites on, blacks off. What are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? If a world war does break out in Europe, what the hell are you going to do? In America, what are you going to do? How are you going to get home? China, Australia, I'm sorry. It's over. If something goes down in Australia, they've been putting out a little bit of media, independently about how strict they got with the COVID lockdowns and stuff like that over there. I believe they grounded commercial flights for like a whole year. So guess what? What are you going to do? You know, we move out here into the international community thinking that it's all good and that we're going to be looked after. But in reality, you need to be thinking about your emergency exit plan. And I will tell you right now, I will be the first to tell you, if you see that things are escalating, okay, wherever you are, you see that these countries are stressing out, they're talking stuff, they might even be doing military action. It's, hello, pay attention, go home. If you are a Ghanaian, you don't care what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. You are not from that country. You're just there. Maybe you're going to school. Maybe you just, you're there. Whatever goes down, you're not indigenous to those countries. You shouldn't be involved in their fight, because that's how I feel. Okay, I'll be damned if I get blowed up for Russia or Ukraine. Ain't got nothing to do with me. And Ukraine did what they should do. And we should do what we should do, which should be like, yeah, our people first, period. Our people first. Our concern, our countries first. The needs of our country first. We're involving ourselves in people's matters that don't even need our input. And a different subject is that Black people have fought in these wars. They never get acknowledged. And just imagine you give your life up for one of these countries. You're not seen as indigenous. You're not even seen as a citizen. You're not even recognized for your sacrifice. And maybe even your family gets to be struggle life after you die. Imagine. What's up, family? Ada is there. What's up? What's up? Aisata is there. Ms. Brown Sugar says Ukraine is looking out for their people. I don't see any problem with it. I don't either. That's what they're supposed to do. We're the foreigners. And, foreigners, as much as we want to talk, this like equality talk, it's just the facts, guys. Foreigners don't get the same privileges that local people get. That's just what it is. Even me being here in Ghana, I know what time it is. There's certain things that's going to be different about me living here. In as much the Ghanaians are great, they make me feel welcome. I love being here. This is not my homeland. It is in an indirect way, but I'm not born and raised here. So it is what it is. Whenever you go into another land, you better be thinking that, like, how accommodating is this land going to be? I know here in Africa, I'm not going to ever be sacked. I'm never going to be thrown out, never going to be sent back to America or nothing like that. They see me as an extension. Now, y'all up in Eastern Europe, you seen what time it was. As soon as crisis came, they was separating y'all out. Like, yeah, sorry. Honeycomb says we must stop expecting anything good from the ice beings. That's right. You got it. This should be what people should be concerned about. And I mean, honestly, I know it's true. When the border's shut, okay, their preference, just in case you guys don't know, if there is some kind of situation or crisis or whatever in a country, the citizens are going to get preference. All right. This is a word to the wise to those of you that are living currently outside of your, Western. You better get that citizenship. You better have that resident permit. Okay. If you're holding one of these, okay, this is a British passport. You better have the legal rights to be wherever you are if you're not in England, because if one day they say, hey, all British citizens got to go, or England calls their citizens, say, hey, you got to get back, or you're not going to get this, you're not going to get that, you're not, able to do. Trust me. You better make sure you have the legal rights to be where you at. The Vietnamese said, go home during the Vietnam War. Now, just imagine, let's say that you are American in Russia. Okay. They do have some Americans in Russia. Okay. Probably non-patriotic Americans. Now, let's say Russia goes to war with America. They're going to sack you. They're probably not going to care if you're married to a Russian. They probably won't care if you've been living there 10, 15 years. There will be an anti-Semitism movement. It happens all the time. Just like in America, those of y'all that was in America during like September 11th, back in 2001. Or anybody who looked Middle Eastern was getting it. Okay, all the Muslim people, all the ladies dressed in their traditional wear and all that, everybody was discriminating. Everybody was hating on them. During coronavirus, everybody was hating on the Chinese. Acting like they had the cooties and everything like that. Don't get it twisted, guys. Don't get it twisted. The probability of something like that happening to Black people on the continent is very slim. That's why I choose to be here. But you in these Western nations, Europe, and then God forbid you get to be there and then a problem breaks out. Because I was thinking about that too. Those of y'all that live in the UK, during them world wars, they was bombing England. Yes, they were bombing England. The Germans was bombing England. See, Americans, they don't really know because they haven't really had warfare on their lands before. Okay. The most they had was Pearl Harbor, and now many Americans haven't even been to Hawaii, and that's just a far-fetched, concept of, having bombs dropped on your freaking city. Having military tanks show up in your neighborhood, just like Russia showed up in Ukraine, having these military tanks rolling in and gunfire and blah, 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 and, bodies all over the place and all this kind of stuff. But guess what? That happens in Europe. So all Blacks and European, Africans in Europe, you better brush up on your history. Because these countries are like sardines. And if they get into conflicts with each other and you live in them countries, guess what? Now it's your problem. And I tell you what, I'll be pissed if I was in the UK and America declares war on Russia and the UK is an ally to Russia. And guess what? Russia is closer to the UK than America. And then you find yourself in some drama. All I can tell y'all, especially those of you that are Pan-African, I can't speak to the rest of y'all. Y'all go on, keep living in La La Land. Keep living in these people's lands thinking that it's okay. It's all good. Go on. I have nothing to say to you. But to you Pan-Africans, you need to be exercising your freaking evacuation plan, period. We've been telling you guys this stuff for a long time. And when COVID came, big shout outs, Blackavelli. Thank you so much. Okay, Blackavelli, he knows about Pearl Harbor in an up-close manner because he is from Hawaii. But I don't know if we even have any other Hawaiians here in our chat room, Blackavelli. That's probably why you're so cool, because you grew up by the sea. Big shout out to you, brother. I love you. Bam, look at this. So listen, those of you guys that are out there in these, basically Western countries, you need to think about it. You guys have trigger happy leadership in your countries. People talk stuff about the African nations, but I tell you what, the African presidents ain't trying to go to war with nobody. Let me say it again. If this was recorded, this would be a time for me to do a repeat, little double segment. African presidents ain't trying to go to war with nobody. But Biden and pretty much any American president who preceded him and follows him, they ready. They feel like they the big boys because they got military power. They ready to do something. Putin is definitely about it. He's definitely ready to mess somebody up. Okay, you living in these countries with these trigger happy leadership, these white boys. Listen, you might get yourself involved in something you don't want to be involved in. I would feel so bad for any black person who got caught up in this Ukraine thing because it really, really, really has nothing to do with any of us. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. So this is my Unpopular Opinions live. I just personally have so much to say about this Ukraine-Russia thing in regards to how it's not our problem and how it should resonate with our people. And guys, you know, we are experiencing really crazy times in our generation right now. And y'all should be paying attention to this. I mean, I'm already here. I heeded the warning. Okay. I heeded the warning. I changed my plans. I got down here. AC Block says, what about African tribal wars and Islamic military? What about them? Does any tribe have nuclear weapons? Are you serious? Are you going to compare these Western nations to these type of conflicts? Because you're really dense if you do. This is not even the same. You know, there's conflicts happening in African nations in certain villages or certain regions. It's not even impacting the other cities that are in the same country. What are you talking about? See, look, let me take a moment. Look, ooh, I done started sweating, I got mad. This is also another problem. Okay? We compare apples and oranges. We compare apples and oranges. I mean, if we really want to get down to the root cause of, for instance, these Islamic militant groups, let's talk about where these religions came from. It's all still the derivative of the white man, because any religious conflict has to do with, we want our people to take this religion and you people are doing this religion. But my friend, this is no comparison. This is no comparison at all. Okay? And guess what? Even these Islamic militant groups here on the continent, in my opinion, they're not as violent as, like, let's say the Middle East. Them Muslims be blowing up. They be in the bunkers. They be, because they get weapons from the US, see? So they have all that weapons. They be doing stuff. Never forget. Okay, I'm going to say that our Islamic groups, I'm not trying to minimize it, but it's kind of on a low scale. It's nothing compared to nuclear weapons, missiles. I mean, I don't know that Boko Haram has missiles. Let me know. Does Boko Haram have missiles? Do they do drone attacks? Is the Boko Haram in Nigeria, are they sending missiles to South Africa or what? Because last time I checked, it's kind of low-level cells. No comparison at all. I would tell you guys definitively, I will choose the continent 400 million times over living in the West. I'm so serious. Part of the reason is because our leadership, though corrupt, is not focused on the same stuff these guys out in the West are focused on. Okay, these guys in the West, they want to go to war. They're always causing trouble. They're always threatening, you know, Asia, the Middle East, and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. On a continent, that's really not a prospect. So even though you want to bring up tribal wars and Islamic militant groups, it's not even remotely close, buddy. Sorry. I couldn't even take that. I wasn't expecting that. But the way our people try to make excuses for the nonsense that goes abroad, I'm used to that too. But the focal point is got to be like, let's get our situation together. You know, even we could even technically solve that, which is everybody have their designated area. So most Muslim countries, for instance, most Muslim Africans, they usually are in like the northern parts of the nations. I don't know why it's like that, but they're like that. Nigeria, here in Ghana, northern part. You know, let's all have our territories. You know, let's have our territories, because in my opinion, that's really how it goes down here anyway. You have all these different tribes, and as long as people got their own lands and people got their own area to function, it's not the African's man. It's not his nature to have conquests. It's not his nature. And my whole entire life, I have never heard of an African nation invading another one. Never. I mean, let me know when I miss. Did I miss it? Did Gambia try to invade Senegal? Did Ghana try to invade Nigeria, or Nigeria try to invade Senegal? Or, you know what I'm saying? Did Zambia try to invade Zimbabwe? Or, I mean, let's be real. Guys. Whew. All right. I'm hot. I'm sweating, and I've been on here for a minute. Tiger, don't get me started. I've just done the series, the whole show. You got to come back later. Man, this is a good point too. In Africa, if stuff hits the fan, you can blend in. Even if you weren't born there, nobody's going to pick you out. Just like the white foreigners who spoke Ukrainian would not be identified as foreigners. Exactly. We stand out in those settings. Like I said, there are definitely Africans. I know for a fact they've gone through the process. They had their Ukrainian documents, their permanent residents, their citizens, or whatever. But guess what? When it came down to it, it was all a visual thing. And if you look black, you was not getting on the trains first. If there were white people waiting, white people was going first. Simple. Simple. And we need to get on code. Period. All right, so I done talked long enough, guys, on this topic. Big shout out to the African Superstar family, guys. Make sure you like the stream. If you just joined us, then you'll have to get the playback. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Big shout out to Blackavelli showed love. He's always the only one. I don't know. Can I get some super chat love from the family? Can I get some super chat love from the family? Matrell on a mission, you can do it, because you know when I was in Egypt, I dressed in you know, I didn't have any hijabs, but I wore like a scarf, and I wore the kaftans, and they kept asking me if I was a Nubian. You know, they were surprised when I started talking because the way I appeared, and we have that ability here on the continent. Many people have echoed that in the chat. We have that ability to just blend on in here. You know what I'm saying? If a situation pops off, you know, if a situation pops off, they're not going to be, a Chinese is going to be identifiable here. Not me. So, all right, guys, I'm wrapping up now. Much love to the family. Thank you so much. I know those of you guys in the West, it's a bit early on your side. So thank you so much for tuning in. Much love to all of you guys in Africa, all of you guys all around. My new subs, I see that I've been getting new subs recently. So a big shout out to you guys. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.